What up, everybody? VITA Van Pelt here. Your 50% of your Panthers representation in TTE. And I'm here to talk Panthers Falcons recap. So if you're seeing this, you already know we lost this game. And if you don't want to hear nothing about Panthers football, or if you're a Falcons fan and you're trying to control, here goes your little block to do this, y'all. Make sure y'all tap in with us as we will be doing a week 1 recap, week 2 stuff, everything down the line. You'll get to hear from Soy Sauce, Moonwalk, Packers, Eagles, everything. And we got some more stuff in store for you. You want to find us anywhere else? Vita Van Pelt on TikTok and X or Twitter, you ever want to call it. All right, y'all. It is time for me I've digested my humble pie. It did not taste well. I'm sick of this, but very interesting as I'm looking up here now on my computer. I've never noticed where people got this before. This is Yahoo Sportsbook. I always wonder for those who like to bet money, if you like to dabble, I always wonder where people said the public bets was. And on my this is me, y'all see it different. It's my first time seeing it, y'all. It said that Atlanta money line, Atlanta covering the 3.5 spread and the under of 40.5 all hit. So if you went full send on the Falcons, you got good bread. 90% of the public bet Atlanta's money line. But 64% bet that Carolina would cover the 3.5. So they thought it would be a close game. And actually, I'm pretty surprised that almost 90% of people put money on the over. So that was a little funny. So for y'all who like to put, a couple dollars on some stuff, I'll definitely keep track of that because you around here, we gonna put 5 on it. All right, y'all. Let's get to talking about this game. Carolina Panthers go up to Atlanta, where we have not won in a long time, and we still have not won. Final score 24-10. The game started out probably as best as you could have expected with Brian Burns and them. I think the first play of the game, and I'm still trying to work through it emotionally. Desmond Ritter hit the back of his guard and kind of deflected off of Derek Brown. Ball pops in the air. Desmond Ritter catching you like, oh snap, it's about to get cracking, ain't it? They get a lot of pressure. We get them out of here. Carolina first drive moves down the field with a great drive. And I don't want to say this changed the momentum, but clearly Frank Wright and them to me, had something in mind of the way they wanted to start this game because they got into the red zone on 4th and 1. There wasn't even no thought about it as fast as they lined up because you were like, oh, are they even going to think about kicking this field goal? And just nope. 4th and 1, Atlanta got a stop, left points on the board. Uh, that didn't nothing drastic happened from there, but it was pretty telling to me. The fact, the more that I think about it, is they really had expectations to score on that first drive. And not gonna lie, yeah, I can sit here in hindsight, but at the point I was like, bro, just take the 3 points. The way our defense is looking, and they turned up in the first half, I was like, nah, man, just get any points we can, and let's make it easy on our guy. That's not what happened. Towards later in the game, first half of the game, Brian Burns, I think, had 2.5 sacks. I think Derek Brown had a sack early in the game. Bryce Young did not get sacked until 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter when we was finally down a good amount. Um, the game took a big change when Bryce Young threw his first pick to Jesse Bates. I thought it was a phenomenal play by Jesse Bates. He cut off Hayden Hurst. It just seemed like a true savvy play. You give Atlanta the ball back in dang near red zone. Real quick pass to Bijan Robinson in open space, touchdown. Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier definitely are worth all the compliments that they will receive and get as a running back duo. Algier's a beast, y'all. He is a beast. I think between both of them, Algier might have averaged 5 a carry and Bijan about 5.5. When I look at the workload that both of them got today, about 25 total carries each. But I expected Bijan to get all the pass catching reps and Algier strictly running. And even though we knew that, just as the game went on, they wore us down. In the first half, at halftime, the game was 10-10. At halftime, mentally, I was like, Carolina was the better team in the first half. That's truly how I felt. I was very proud of how, after Bryce threw his first pick, they came right back down the field. Bryce got his first touchdown to Hayden Hurst. Hurst throws the ball into the stands. They got it back for my dog, though. They got his ball back, but he admitted he blacked out and sent it back. Good thing they got it back. So I think, and this is why I'm drawing a blank at on the play-by-play, to be honest with you. I think when we came out of the half, we got the ball, and I know we had a bad drive, but I think it's the next possession we got the pick, and Atlanta just took the field goal. And then from that moment, I just knew that Carolina was honestly drawing blank offensively. I want to give credit to the Atlanta secondary on top of what is the failures of the Carolina Panthers wide receiver core, to be very honest with you. Um, Jonathan Mingo, Adam Thielen, Terrence Marshall Jr., none of them guys was creating constant separation. And that was a knock on this roster all through the offseason, and it truly showed today. I do have my question marks about play calling. I do have my question marks about the running back rotation. When we got to the end of the day, it didn't feel like Miles Sanders had 18 carries. It really didn't. It never felt like any running back was in the game for more than 3 plays in a row. I think the first possession of the game, Miles got the first handoff, and then he subbed out. And then Chuba got a handoff, and then he subbed out. And it felt like they were constantly playing this merry-go-round. Laviska Shenault, I think, saw all of his action in the first half. Hayden Hurst, who had a good first half, saw all of his action in the first. And then it was like they were like, oh, this was working. We're not going to do it no more. I felt like on a coaching stance, looking at the game now, they wasn't playing far deep down the line. And I feel like that's part of the reason why they could have been a little more intentional with preseason and working some of these kinks out, man. I really do.
Is this your plan to
I
watch the
really
game
do.
today? I have to watch my neighbor's NFL Sunday ticket.
It's not your best
That's
plan.
in my
You know what it
headphones.
is?
I'm trying to get this off. Wait. Thank you. Thank you. Soy sauce on the ones and twos helping me out in the background, y'all. So thank y'all if he's trying to maneuver and work with me as I get going through this. So let me see if I can give you guys a couple of takeaways. I'm not trying to do this too professional because I want to give you guys a genuine reaction of the game. JC Horn got hurt. JC Horn got hurt in, I want to believe, the second quarter. Non-contact. I don't want to ever bang on a player who has an injury history. I specifically don't want to bang on a player who has suffered 2 injuries, non-contact, because that stuff can happen to anybody. But if JC Horn is not a part of this defense, there truly goes a security blanket and comfort in the secondary. I have talked stuff all summer about what I felt Jeremy Chin and Von Bell impact on this defense will feel like today. And I don't feel like either one of them really did anything worth mentioning today. I really do. I do want to give a big shout out to the defensive line. I felt like Carolina's defense was not mentioned at any point in time in this, and I feel like the final score is going to make it look like they've got like they were overwhelmed. But as the game went on, Atlanta never once had to change their game plan. They were able to just consistently run the ball, take what they had to, and play field position because Carolina was really giving them every chance they get. The number of the game, so if you can go to the team stats for me, please. And we could try to work through this here. 20 first downs for Carolina. There's 13 for Atlanta. Fourth down, Carolina, 0 for 2. The first one, the first part of the game. The last one was the last play of the game where Bryce tried to escape. So the second one, it's a Hail Mary. Game was already 10-24, like 20 seconds left. That's a wrap. But that very first fourth down conversion, take the 3 points. Again, I don't think it changes the outcome, but stop being so horny, bro. Take the 3 points. I think in that moment, we should have just took the momentum and went. Look at the numbers of plays. Carolina ran 72 plays to 48. Total yards, 281 to 221. Total drives, 12 to 13. Pretty even. Yards per play, not that big of a difference. Where you're going to notice the difference is Carolina threw for more yards, obviously more plays, more attempts. rushing, more plays, more attempts. The averages is what I'm more looking at. The average isn't that much of a difference, which is honestly what I expect. But I do feel like Atlanta's running backs were getting more after contact. And honestly, Carolina's running backs was only taking the space that was blocked for them. I was a little upset at the Miles Sanders fumble. The one reason why I was upset was because told you it didn't feel like he had 18 carries. It felt like every time he came in, he got a little inside handoff, getting about 2 or 3 yards. They finally gave him something to the outside. He got a first down. Then I felt like the one time that he actually had a little crease, he was like, man, I got to take advantage of this. And then he reached for the first down line and he was still short like 2 yards. I didn't feel like he had to reach, but I never want to stop a player from being a playmaker. But in that moment, it was like, bro, we could have just took those yards and be done. But the number of the game is the turnovers. Carolina turned the ball over 3 times to 0. All turnovers forced by Jesse Bates. 2 interceptions and a forced fumble on Miles Sanders. That is a number that is inexcusable. There is almost no way possible that a team can lose the turnover battle by that much and expect to be in the game. And one of those turnovers was in the first half. 2 of them was in the second half, and Atlanta made sure to capitalize off of each one of them. Each one of them was in their territory with flags coming after it, and they just made sure to take true advantage of every turnover we gave them. So I am with the hope that this is now on film. Clean it up, bro. Clean it up. Y'all could do y'all parts. I'm never going to bang on my opponent. You got to show your respect. Atlanta was superior, the superior coach team in the second half. And the reason why I feel that way was they were going to live and die by the game plan that they had. We aren't going to put the ball in harm's way. We're going to run our plays we got to run. And if that don't work out, we are going to punt the ball. And I really feel Arthur Smith was trying his best not to pass that football because a lot of bad stuff was happening. Brian Burns getting pressure, Derek Brown getting pressure, tip passes. Mac Hollins debatable catch that led to a first down, but Carolina never forced the Falcons to have to get uncomfortable. Even when it was 10-10, 10-7, they were still like, hey, we're going to run the football. We are going to be clean. And I have respect for that, that we never made them uncomfortable. We never made them say, hey, Ritter, you got to beat us throwing the ball. Desmond Ritter went, I believe, what was 15 for 18, and only 6 of his passes came past the line of scrimmage. And one pass was the final dagger to Kyle Pitts on CJ Henderson that put them down at like the 4-yard line, and they got the final touchdown into there. So overall, yes, I am upset because I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose, and I don't want to lose in this fashion to a team that, again, I don't want to throw no. Let me word this properly. Let me word this properly without trying to say. I think there was enough left on the field for me as a Panthers fan to say today I could lose, but tomorrow I could win. So that was enough for me to say that there. Today, the coaching staff is the ones that have to be examined. The coaching staff was the ones who told us all preseason we've been vanilla. We haven't tried to show nothing. Then you get out there and what you show only lasts for one half of football. And that was the exact same thing I told my bro. I said, I'm afraid that the bullets that they're trying to tell us that they got is a one-trick pony, bro. And that they're scared to show something because they ain't got nothing else behind it. And that's what it really did look like at the end of the day. Terrence Marshall Jr. and Jonathan Mingo both had deep shots today. We didn't try to push the ball down the field too much, but Terrence Marshall had one on the right side of the field, little stop and go kind of route. And when he came out of his stop, he slowed up and looked back and then went full speed. And that pissed me off. Bro, see it through to the end. Shouldn't slow up. Mingo got overthrown. But neither one of them are supposed to be there for that. That's kind of what DJ Chark is there for. But I'm glad that it's on film to show them, hey, y'all got to keep this going. So My takeaways from this game really is the usage of Hayden Hurst. I know the interception came in attempt to Hayden Hurst, but also Hayden Hurst, I think, only had one catch after halftime. And when we did started to prioritize him, put him into everything, that's when we started to move the ball downfield. Miles Sanders on paper has 4 catches. 2 of those were dump offs towards the end. Ain't really trying to count them. He wasn't a act during the process of the game. He wasn't active out of the backfield. Um, the fact that Laviska Shenault really only seen most of his action in the first half, and then we didn't see him again after. Again, it just concerns me of what really, how deep is the bag of this all-star coaching staff that we so-called assembled. So I'm gonna give you guys the week to figure that out because yeah, we like I have to give you guys the grace to have a floor to work with, but I'm also expecting you not to bull stuff us and tell us you've been running vanilla stuff and this is what you come out with and it's only good for a half of football. Y'all should have had a lot more ready to go. The offensive line did their thing today, and everybody thought that was going to be the concern. Nah, that wasn't the concern. The concern is play calling, creativity. Like we wasn't even play action, rolling out, doing nothing. It started to become a shotgun drop back, and then Bryce truly became. It made it easier for him to become a target, and he escaped. He did what he had to do. He said they didn't sack him until the fourth quarter, but I am I wasn't intrigued with the lack of creativity that I felt they was doing. I really wasn't. So what are my expectations right now going into next week? Expectation number one, y'all better pay Brian Burns and y'all better pay him as fast as he can. Bro should be having a contract by Monday morning. Number two, um, I love Terrence Marshall Jr. I think he is, after watching him enough, I can confidently say I really think he is a role player. I don't think he could be a part of your main 1, 2, 3. I don't. But I do think he's valuable in being a big body target, great hands. You want to put him from the 30 in and let him find him a mismatch and big body somebody. Body possessions, great hands, I could take that. But I don't think over the course of a game he can sustain trying to create separation and all that. I don't. So I'm hoping that DJ Chark, who gave us the most flashes in training camp, whenever he does return, please be next week. That maybe my imagination will be fulfilled by what he does in that role on the outside over there. Jonathan Mingo. Jonathan Mingo. Bryce had a deep shot on him when we was backed up against the 1 yard line by an absolutely stupid punt return by him, Smith, whatever bro's name is. I don't want to slaughter it and I don't want to say whatever like I'm disrespecting it. But bro really ran across the goal line and got tackled at the 1 yard line. Hey, that was just like just stupid, bro. Like that, just a mental lapse. It's a mental lapse, and I don't understand why we would make our punt returner somebody who really hasn't been around. Like Raheem Blackshear should have been back there. So Mingo, I'm not critiquing Mingo. He made great catch on the sideline. Him and Bryce missed a deep shot. My evaluation is of him and Bryce and how they progress as the year goes on, because Mingo is the only wide receiver on this roster that I think will be here 3 years from now. Because he came in with Bryce, I think he's going to stay with Bryce. So we got to be able to see small progressions in their route tree, their chemistry together, and stuff like that. So I truly, honestly have no complaints about the defense. I really, really don't. I am frustrated that CJ Henderson got caught on like that by Kyle Pitts, but I stopped putting expectation on CJ Henderson. Again, I just felt like the safeties should have been more of an impact in today's game, especially when this team shown that they were so committed to playing a certain way. I feel like we could have did better than that. Bryce, to the man of the hour, he has to be better. But from what I saw in today's game, I'm actually like I'm not upset. I'm not accepting the turnovers, but I'm not upset either. There was a part of me that felt like in the third, and we talk about how Bryce is able to process and be aware of everything going on. I felt like looking at him he would look and be like, we're going to call this play and it's not going to be open. I know it's not going to be open, and I'm just going to throw it away and protect the ball. And he was getting rid of the ball pretty early for a lot of them, just throwing them out of bounds. And I was like, smart play, bro, smart play. Like, bro had probably had like 9 passes that was literally just thrown out of bounds. It's like that's what it felt like. He was just like, nah, this play's dead, bro. This play's dead. So I hope that they change that, man. It sucks losing to the Falcons because I'm getting roasted about it. I'm tired of losing to them in Atlanta. We want to go stomp on their couch, Rick James style. But I'm sick. So we'll be able to double back from here. Next game, Monday night versus New Orleans at home. I have watched nothing of the New Orleans game right now, so I'll get a chance to go sit back, look at them, seeing they squeaked out a win. As of the current moment, Dallas is waxing the Giants. I'm recording this Sunday night. Miami won, New England lost, Buffalo and the Jets will play Monday. Cleveland won, Baltimore won, Pittsburgh and Cincy lost. Only Jacksonville won in the AFC South, and only the Raiders won in the AFC West. Who would have told you that the Raiders will be the #1 seed in the AFC West? Times are changing, man. Times are changing. And in the NFC, currently, Washington and Philly are both 1-0. Green Bay and Detroit are both 1-0. Minnesota and Chicago losing. Atlanta and Tampa Bay, but well, Carolina is the only team to lose in the NFC South. So I miss New Orleans. In the NFC West, Rams and San Francisco both 1-0. Arizona and Seattle 0-1. I'll speak real quick on the Panthers situation within the NFC context, because first, the only way the Panthers are going to have a shot at making the playoffs is by winning the NFC South. You lose to Atlanta week 1, obviously that's down bad. Your next opponent is New Orleans. They're 1-0. There is a true possibility that Carolina could be 0-2 after Monday night's game and then becomes a problem. Then you go play Seattle, who lost. You play Minnesota, who lost. You play Detroit, who won. Then you go play Miami before a bye week. The first 6 weeks of the year is my grace period for this coaching staff. Yes, I have expectations. No, I do not want to be losing games. I'm tired of losing games. But I'm going to give you guys this 6 games to get your feet wet. Get your feet wet, because coming out of the bye week, we'll play Houston, Indianapolis, Chicago. And I've been screaming, those 3 games better be wins, because I feel like they're all people that's right around us. And I feel like our level of competition from playing division opponents, who we will see again, so we get to bookmark where we are now compared to where we are then, to playing Seattle, Minnesota, who were last year's playoff teams, Detroit, who was a favorite in their division, and Miami, who was a playoff team. I feel like it just gives us a good template. I would not be shocked. I don't want to be. If we was 1-5, 2-4 at the bye week. But if we could get to the bye week at 3-3, I am living life and living large. No, I'm not gonna be the Debbie Downer and be like, yeah, I think we're just gonna blow it because we lost this week. Because I think there was, as much as Atlanta played a steady game, we cheddar bobbed ourselves, man. We shot ourselves in the foot too many ways. But that's the characteristics of a young team that's still working together with the new coaching staff. They got some things to work out. So we'll see what we look like as of this moment. As of this moment right now, as I talk to you, how confident am I in the New Orleans game? I'm 40-60. I'm 40, like right now, I would 40-60 say I would, like, you, I can't even give us a 50-50. I would give us a 40-60. I'm very impressed with the O-line, but God, I'm like, I just don't, it's not even the wide receivers more for me, is I fear what that play calling did in the second half. And I'm hoping that they don't, I'm gonna be pissed off again if they got a good play calling for one half and in the second half they fall off again. Then it's gonna start to go red flag. So right now, I'm 40% confident in the Panthers win, and that ain't confident because I ain't never under 50%. So 40-40 right now. We'll see what we look like. I watched some New Orleans tapes. But the most important thing I just want done this week is I want Brian Burns to get paid. As long as Brian Burns gets paid this week, cool. Do what you got to do. At least we know we got one of our milestones locked in. All right. So that's it, y'all. I'm not gonna make this too long. I stayed up. I'm hoarse. I'm tired. I got a headache. I had a whole attitude for an hour and a half after losing this game. So y'all stay with me. Thank y'all. My phone and everything probably all messing up. Look, y'all see, look, it's time to go to bed, y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Y'all give 2 hand claps if you watch this long in the chat for Soy Sauce for suffering through with this. I call him all the time, be like, hey, let's do this. And he don't do nothing but show up and get that done with me. We should be getting ready to do our week 1 recap and review. Make sure y'all tap in with us. I don't even know what else to say because I'm ready to go to bed too, y'all. Wish I could say keep pounding, but I'm down right now. Thank y'all for rocking with me, VITA VanPelt. I'm out, y'all.